Welcome back to our Auburn Recruiting Junkies. We have another commitment video for you. And yes, this one happened a little bit ago while I was gone on vacation. But nevertheless, let's get you caught up on the quick facts that you need to know about this defensive commit and, of course, what it means for Hugh Freeze and the Auburn Tigers. We do want to welcome you back here to the channel, E2C Network, where we share the Auburn experience, which is all about Auburn sports, Auburn culture, Auburn family stuff. If it's orange and blue, it's what we do. So thank you so much for joining us and what we're going to be doing today in this particular video. We do need to catch you up on this. It has been several days. This one occurred right when I started my vacation time last week. So I've got finally a grasp on everything that we need to get you guys informed on in terms of this particular guy on the defensive side of the ball. And I hope this is a confirmation for all of you, chicken littles out there saying the sky was falling, buying into narratives about golf and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, I won't get into that today. Here we are. Let's give you facts. That's what we're focused on here. Your brand new commitment for the 2026 class at the linebacker position is going to be Adam Balogoun-Ali. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Adam. If I'm not, I'll learn it and get better at it later on down the line. He's coming to us from West Palm Beach, Florida, and Cardinal Newman High School down there in West Palm Beach, Florida. Now, he's a linebacker commit, and most people are considering him an inside linebacker commit, which is a little bit interesting. You don't see that a lot these days, or at least it's not talked about as much as a edge rusher or just a traditional linebacker. A lot of people specifically categorized him as that. Here's his measurables, and you can make your judgment based off of what you currently know about him. About 205, 210 in terms of poundage. In terms of height, 6'1", 6'2", depending on where you look at. So just a nice linebacker measurables right there. To me, that tells me with people talking about him that manner, they're expecting him to fill out a little bit more if they're talking inside linebacker type of situation. But nevertheless, we're just going to consider him a linebacker for our purposes here today and figuring out what he's going to bring to the table. He's coming from not just the state of Florida, but the lower part of Florida. If you know recruiting, you know there's always tending to be a hotbed of talent down there past like Central Florida region. And if you can go down there and get some talent, you need to go do it. Auburn's traditionally across multiple regimes done that very well. Encouraging to see that still continuing here today with Adam coming to the fold for the 2026 class too. Here's some stats from his high school playing time if you're curious about that. He is playing at this high school for the very first time this year, so that'll be brand new. But his previous stints at a different high school, he had 56 tackles, 4 for tackles for loss, and 2 sacks in that last season with his previous high school to give you kind of something to think about. We'll be monitoring how he does in his senior year. And obviously, DJ Durkin, had a big hand in this one as the defensive coordinator, but going to be his position coach as well, coaching the linebacker. So that is the facts that you need to know about Adam. Let's now talk about what his commitment means, not just for him, his playing time, but for Auburn, its class, all of that falls under that umbrella. We start with the commit class facts, or the recruiting 2026 class facts, the things that we know at the current time of this particular commitment. Obviously things change, but this is at this current time. When he committed, he was the 8th overall commit in the class at that time. It made him the 3rd defensive guy and the 1st linebacker or true linebacker. Some people would say an edge person might be considered a linebacker in some way, but the 1st traditional linebacker commit in the class, or the only one at that time of his particular commitment, and the 1st from the state of Florida, or the only one from the state of Florida at that time, which is already a very diverse class in terms of where they're coming from. But it's good to see Georgia, Alabama, and of course now Florida, primary 3 states they need to make sure they take care of, represented in this class. What does it mean in terms of his playing time? Now, obviously, a lot of you have heard the news that DJ Barber is no longer part of the program, so that certainly may help his finding some playing time. Auburn's already lost a ton of talent at linebacker for this upcoming year and is bringing some new faces, not just into the fold, but putting them more prominently into starting positions such as DeMarcus Reddick, probably a Robert Woodyard, and a plethora of young freshman talent that's probably going to get to play even more now. So what this tells me, I'm just jumping out here making assumptions that barring some big transfer portal additions or things like that, and others in this class as well, you can probably expect Adam to find his way into significantly competing for some playing time early, if not at least on special teams, because the cupboard's just a little bit bare after losing DJ Barber. plenty of time for things to change. I still wouldn't expect him to start or anything like that. These are true freshmen we're talking about anyway, and still a lot of time has to pass, but that at least gives you a picture of how things might go. And lastly, what does it mean for the class, even at his particular position? Just like what we talked about when or how often he might play, you got to think the loss of DJ Barber really opens up this class in terms of who and how many they want to take at that traditional linebacker position. So I'm going to just step out on a limb here, probably very safely, and say we ain't done yet at the linebacker position, simply just because of the needs situation at the high school recruiting ranks. That's going to do it for us, your quick facts and the things that you need to know about what it means for Hugh Freeze, the Auburn Tigers, and Adam. Let us know your thoughts down here in the comments section below. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for being here. Until we talk to you again, War Eagle.